The internet has been shaking, the WhatsApp groups are on fire, and the political atmosphere in Abuja is thicker than the harmattan dust right now. If you are sitting down, you might want to hold on to your chair because the headline you saw is not a joke, and it is certainly not something you can just scroll past. We are talking about the man who was once the chief law officer of the Federation, the man who held the pen that signed off on the biggest deals in Nigeria for 8 years. We are talking about Abubakar Malami, the former Attorney General of the Federation, AGF, and Minister of Justice. And the question on everyone's lips today, Sunday, December 14th, 2025, is this: does he really own 46 bank accounts? And even more terrifying, is he truly a sponsor of terrorism? Or is this, as his people claim, the biggest political witch hunt of 2025? We are going to break this down piece by piece because the details coming out of the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission (EFCC) headquarters are explosive. This is not old news, though. This is happening right now. Malami has been sleeping in the custody of the EFCC since Monday night. Yes, you heard me right. The man who used to give orders to the EFCC is now a guest in their holding cell, and the allegations filed against him are enough to make your head spin. Let's start with the 46 bank account saga. This number is specific. It is not many accounts or plenty accounts. The investigators are looking at exactly 46 different bank accounts allegedly linked to the former minister. Now, ask yourself, why would one individual, even a high-ranking government official, need 46 bank accounts? This is the core of the EFCC's line of inquiry. Sources close to the investigation have leaked that these accounts are being scrutinized for suspicious transactions that run into billions of naira. The investigators believe these accounts were used to funnel funds from various government deals, alleged kickbacks, and unauthorized transfers. When the news first broke earlier this week, many people thought it was just a rumor, but as Malami spent his second, third, and now sixth night in detention, it is becoming clear that the EFCC believes they have struck gold. But if you think the bank accounts are the heavy part of this story, wait until you hear the terrorism financing angle. This is the allegation that has made international headlines. The EFCC is reportedly probing links between funds traced to Malami and the financing of terrorism. This is a grave accusation. In a country that has been bleeding from insurgency in the northeast and banditry in the northwest, the idea that a sitting Minister of Justice could be involved in funding the chaos is unthinkable. But that is exactly what is on the table. The investigators are looking at whether funds meant for security or other covert operations were diverted into channels that eventually reached the wrong hands. However, we must be fair and balanced. Malami is not taking this lying down. On Thursday, December 11th, his office released a furious statement. They categorically denied everything. They called the terrorism financing claims false, misleading, and baseless. They challenged the media and the EFCC to show proof. They argued that Malami was the one who strengthened the anti-money laundering laws in Nigeria. They pointed out that he was instrumental in setting up the Nigerian Financial Intelligence Unit, NFIU. Their argument is, how can the man who fought to remove Nigeria from the FATF grey list be a terrorist financer? It's a strong defense. They are painting a picture of a man who is being persecuted because of his political ambition. And that brings us to the political twist that makes this story smell like 2027. Did you know that Malami has dumped the All Progressives Congress, APC? Yes, the party he served for 8 years. In July 2025, he quietly resigned and joined the African Democratic Congress, ADC. And in November, he declared his intention to run for the governorship of Kebbi State in 2027. His supporters are shouting that this is the real reason for his trouble. They believe the ruling party is terrified of his influence in Kebbi and is using the EFCC to clip his wings before the campaign season even starts. The ADC has officially come out to accuse the EFCC of playing politics. They said the revocation of his bail was a calculated attempt to stop him from attending a political rally in Kebbi. Let's talk about that bail drama because it's a story on its own. Malami was initially invited for questioning on November 28th. He went, he answered questions, and he was granted administrative bail. But on Monday, December 8th, when he returned for further engagement, he was detained. Why? The EFCC released a statement yesterday, Saturday, December 13th, explaining exactly why. They said Malami failed to meet the 5 conditions attached to his bail. They claimed he was supposed to report back on December 1st, but sent a letter claiming he was sick, ill health, without providing a medical report. The EFCC said they compassionately gave him a few days, but when he came back without the medical report and without meeting the bail terms, they had no choice but to lock him up. They called his claim that he was detained for attending a political meeting patently false. They insist they are apolitical and they are just doing their job. But what are the other sins of Malami according to the investigators? It's not just about the bank accounts. The EFCC is digging into 5 specific mega deals that happened under his watch. One of them is the $496 million payment to Global Steel Holdings Ltd for the Ajaokuta Steel concession. The investigators are asking, why was this money paid 9 years after the company had already waived all claims? Who authorized it? Where did the money go? Then there is the issue of the Paris Club refund. Malami's role in the $419 million judgment debt awarded to consultants is under the microscope. The EFCC suspects that these payments were inflated or fraudulent. And let's not forget about the ABACHA loot. There are allegations of duplicated legal fees in the transfer of $321 million from Switzerland. The EFCC believes that lawyers were paid twice for the same job, and they want Malami to explain why. This is why the 46 accounts are so important. The investigators believe the answers to these questions are hidden in the transaction history of those accounts. They are looking for the money trail. If they find transfers from these controversial deals ending up in accounts linked to the former AGF, it will be game over. Now, let's look at the lifestyle audit. Malami is also being quizzed about a staggering 10 billion naira investment in schools, hotels, and rice mills in Kebbi State. The question is simple. How does a public servant amass such wealth? His salary as a minister is known. His earnings as a lawyer before 2015 is known. Does the math add up? The EFCC says no. Malami says yes, claiming he was a successful senior advocate of Nigeria, SAN, before he entered government. The drama is intensified by the stance of the ADC. The African Democratic Congress is standing firmly behind their new star member. They are warning that if the EFCC continues to be used as a tool for political vendetta, it will destroy our democracy. They are asking, why now? Why wait until he declares for governor to bring up files from 2018 and 2020? Is it because he left the APC? It's a valid question that resonates with many Nigerians who are tired of seeing the anti-graft agency wake up only when an opposition figure raises their head. But on the other hand, civil society groups are cheering. For years, there were allegations against Malami that seemed to slide off him like water off a duck's back. People accused him of interfering in cases, of entering nolle prosequi to stop trials of his friends, and of being untouchable. Now that the immunity of office is gone and the protection of the presidency has shifted, the chickens are coming to roost. The untouchable is now sleeping on a mattress in an EFCC cell. It sends a powerful message that power is transient. Today you are the hunter, tomorrow you are the hunted. The sheer volume of funds being mentioned is mind-boggling. When you hear $496 million here, 10 billion naira there, $321 million there, it's easy to get lost in the zeros. But remember, this is money that could have built hospitals. This is money that could have fixed the roads in Kebbi. This is money that could have equipped our schools. If it is true that one man sat on 46 accounts to hide this wealth, then it's a crime against humanity, not just a financial crime. But if it's false, if Malami is innocent, then he is the victim of the most vicious character assassination in modern Nigerian history. The EFCC spokesperson, Dele Oyewale, has been very active this weekend. He is firing press statements to counter every move by Malami's media team. He clarified that the EFCC has no interest in Kebbi politics. He cited the fact that they recently arraigned a former governor who is a member of the ruling party to prove their neutrality. But in Nigeria, seeing is believing. The public is watching to see if Malami will be charged to court on Monday or if he will be released on bail again. So, is it true or is it lies? The true camp points to the specific details, the 46 accounts, the missed bail conditions, the suspicious payments. They say there is no smoke without fire. The lies camp points to the timing, the 2027 ambition, the defection to ADC, the sudden revocation of bail. They say it's a script written to dismantle a political threat. But what makes this story even more juicy is the silence from the current administration. You would expect the presidency to say something, but they are quiet. They are letting the EFCC do its job. Is this a sign that Tinubu has washed his hands of the Buhari-era officials? Are we going to see more arrests? There are rumors that other ministers from that cabinet are also on the watch list. Malami might just be the first to fall. So, As we head into the new week, all eyes are on the Federal High Court in Abuja. Will the EFCC file charges? Will Malami's lawyers file for the enforcement of his fundamental human rights? The legal battle is just beginning. And remember, Malami is a senior advocate of Nigeria. He knows the law. He knows the loopholes. This will not be an easy fight for the EFCC. If they bring a weak case, he will tear it apart in court. They need concrete evidence. They need those bank statements to speak louder than his lawyers. I want to know what you think about this. Do you believe the EFCC is genuinely fighting corruption, or is this 2027 politics playing out in 2025? And what about the terrorism financing allegation? Do you think it is possible, or is it just a label added to make the case look heavier? You need to let me know in the comment section. This is the biggest story of December, and you cannot afford to have no opinion on it. Also, think about the implication for the Northwest. If Malami is taken out of the 2027 equation, who benefits? Who becomes the new